Welcome everyone. This is your host Goutam. Thank you for joining me today. In this video, I am going to walk you through a comprehensive overview of web applications, what they are, how they work, and the technologies that power them. We will start by defining what a web application is, distinguishing it from traditional desktop software and look at some real world examples. After that, we will move on to detailed explanation of how web applications function, diving into both the front end, the part user interact with, and the backend, the behind the scene processing. You will learn about the interaction between the client and server and how data is passed back and forth to deliver the dynamic interactive experience user expect. From there, we will explore APIs, what they are and how they enable communication between different software systems. We will look at how web applications use APIs to fetch data from external source or allow third-party services to interact with the system. Then we will dive into the core technology used to build the web applications. This includes front-end technologies like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, as well as back-end technologies such as Node.js, Express.js, and MySQL for data management. I will guide you through the purpose of each technology and how they fit together to create a seamless web application. What is a web application? A web application is a software program that users access via a web browser. Unlike traditional desktop applications that must be installed on a local machine, web applications run on servers and are accessible from any device connected to the internet. This makes web applications highly flexible and widely used in today's digital world. Some popular examples include online banking systems, social media platforms, and e-commerce sites. Key characteristics of web applications. One of the main advantages of web application is their ability to run on various operating systems, be it Windows, Mac OS, or Linux, without any changes to the core application. This is made possible because they run in a web browser. Users can access web application from anywhere in the world as long as they have internet connectivity. This is particularly useful for applications like online banking or cloud storage services. Users do not need to install any software on their devices. They simply navigate to a URL to use the application. This makes it easy for businesses to develop updates since users always access the latest version of the application. Web application represents a significant shift from traditional software and have become integral to daily tasks and business operations. How web application works? Web applications consist of two main components, the front end, client side, and the back end, server side. Understanding the interaction between these components is crucial for grasping how web application functions. Now, let us understand the basic architecture of a web application. The front end. This is the part of the application that user interact with directly. It is built using technologies like HTML, the markup language that structures the content on the page. CSS, the style sheet language that controls the visual representation of content. JavaScript, the programming language that adds interactive and dynamic features to the application. The front end is responsible for rendering the user interface, handling user inputs, and communicating with the backend to fetch or send data. Backend part. The backend handles business logic, database interaction, and data processing. It is built using server-side technologies such as Node.js, a runtime that allows JavaScript to be executed on the server. Express.js, a framework for building web applications and APIs with Node.js. Databases, MySQL or MongoDB can be used to store application data. When a user interacts with the front end, a request is sent to the backend server. The backend processes this request, interacts with the database if necessary, and sends back a response. Let's consider an e-commerce site where a user searches for a product. The user types laptop into the search bar and clicks the search button. The front-end captures this input and sends a request to the server to retrieve product related to laptop. The server processes this request, query the database to find all the products that matches the criteria and format the result. The server sends the data back to the front end, which updates the user interface to display the search result, showing available laptops with their price and details. This architecture enables a seamless user experience where actions are performed in real time. How API works. APIs or application programming interfaces are essential for enabling different software applications to communicate with each other. They define a set of rules and protocols for how request and response should be formatted, allowing various components of a web application to interact. APIs act as intermediaries that allows different systems to work together. They encapsulate functionalities in a way that allows developers to build applications without having to understand the intricate details of how other system works. Types of APIs. RESTful APIs. These APIs use standard HTTP method to perform operations on resources. They are stateless and operate over the web, making them easy to use for web applications. SOAP APIs. These are more rigid and rely on XML messages. They are often used in enterprise applications requiring high security and reliability. Suppose you are using a travel booking website that provides hotel reservation. The website may use an API to retrieve hotel availability from a remote database. When you enter your destination and travel dates, the website sends a GET request to the hotel API. The API responds with a list of available hotels matching the criteria. The websites then display these results for you to choose from. APIs enable the development of modular applications when functionalities can be reused and combined without requiring deep integration. This slide outlines the essential technologies used to build web applications, categorized into front-end and back-end technologies. Front-end technologies: HTML or Hypertext Markup Language, the standard markup language for creating web pages. It provides the structure for content on the web. CSS or Cascade Style Sheets, a style sheet language used to control the presentation of HTML content. It allows for design flexibility such as colors, layouts, and responsiveness. JavaScript, a programming language that adds interactivity to web pages. It allows developers to create dynamic content that responds to user actions. Backend technologies: Node.js, a runtime environment for executing JavaScript on the server side. It allows for the creation of scalable network applications due to its event-driven architecture. Express.js, a web framework for Node.js that simplifies server-side development. It provides robust features for building web applications and APIs, including middleware support for handling requests. Databases: MySQL is a popular relational database management system used to store and manage application data. It organizes data into tables with relationships, ensuring efficient data management. HTML is the fundamental of any web page. It defines the structure of content and consists of various elements known as tags. What is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is the standard markup language used to create web pages and web applications. HTML documents are composed of elements that define different parts of the content. Key elements like tags. HTML uses tags to define elements. For example, H1 used for heading, P used for paragraphs, div for division or sections, and A for links to define different types of content. Attributes. Text can have attributes that provide additional information. Forms. HTML supports the creation of forms for user input. You can create input fields, buttons, and other interactive elements. HTML forms are critical for applications that require user data, such as registration or feedback form. This slide presents an example of HTML code. Key features. Organize web content in a hierarchy of heading, paragraphs, and other elements. Media support. HTML supports embedding images, videos, and audio files with tags like MS tag, video tag, and audio tag. HTML also provides some semantic tags like header, footer, nav, and article, improve accessibility and SEO. CSS or Cascade Style Sheets control the visual representation of web page. It separates content from design, allowing for greater flexibility and control over the layout. CSS is used to style HTML elements. It can change color, fonts, layouts, and overall visual appearance. CSS allows developers to create visually appealing websites without altering the underlying HTML structure. CSS use selectors to target specified HTML elements for styling. Types of selectors are element selector, class selector, ID selector, etc. CSS applies styles to elements using properties like font, color, margin, and their corresponding values. Key features of CSS. Box model. Understanding the box model is crucial for layout. Each element is represented as a rectangular box with properties like margin, border, padding, and content area. Responsive design. Media queries allow the design to adapt to different screen size, ensuring a good user experience on mobile devices. Animation and transition. CSS can create animations for interactive elements. Next is JavaScript. JavaScript is a versatile programming language that brings interactivity to web pages. It runs in the browser and allows for dynamic content updates, user interactions, and more. JavaScript is a client-side scripting language that enables developers to create rich, interactive web applications. It can manipulate the document object model to change content and styles dynamically based on the user actions. DOM manipulation. JavaScript can access and modify HTML elements using the DOM. This allows developers to change text styles and structure in response to user interaction. Event handling. JavaScript listens for events such as clicks, key presses, and form submission. You can define functions that execute when this event occurs. JavaScript supports asynchronous programming. which allows you to perform multiple tasks without blocking the main thread. This is crucial for web applications that need to fetch data without freezing the user interface. JavaScript has a rich ecosystem of libraries and frameworks such as jQuery, React, and Angular, which enhance development efficiency by providing pre-built components and functionalities. This slide showcases a practical JavaScript code. JavaScript enable real-time updates to the web pages. User can see immediate feedback based on their actions, such as clicking buttons or filling out forms. JavaScript works across all modern web browsers, ensuring a consistent experience for users. JavaScript frameworks like React or Vue.js allows developers to create SPS where content updates dynamically without refreshing the entire page. Node.js is an open source cross-platform runtime environment that allows developers to execute JavaScript on the server side. Node.js enables server-side scripting using JavaScript. It utilizes an event-driven, non-blocking I/O model, making it lightweight and efficient for handling multiple connections simultaneously. Node.js operates on a non-blocking, event-driven architecture that allows it to handle multiple connections at once. This makes it suitable for building scalable applications such as chat applications or APIs that require high throughput. Node.js processes requests asynchronously, allowing other operations to continue while waiting for I/O tasks. npm is a powerful package manager that comes bundled with Node.js. It allows developers to easily install and manage libraries and dependencies for their project. This slide provides a practical code example using Node.js. This code creates a basic HTTP server that listens on port 3000. When accessed, it responds with "Hello World". Node.js is ideal for building scalable applications like REST APIs, real-time chat applications, and more due to its availability to handle numerous simultaneous connections efficiently. Now we will discuss how to install Node.js. Download Node.js. Visit the official Node.js website and download the appropriate installer for your operating system. Follow the installation wizard prompts to set up Node.js on your machine. This will also install npm. Open a terminal or command prompt and type the following commands: node-v or npm-v. These commands will display the installed version of Node.js and npm, confirming that the installation was successful. Consider installing common global packages like nodemon, which automatically restart your server during development, enhancing productivity. Express.js is a web framework built on top of Node.js that simplifies the process of building web applications and APIs. Express is designed to make server-side development more efficient and organized. It provides a robust set of features for web and mobile applications. Express uses middleware functions to handle requests and responses. Middleware functions have access to the request and response objects and can modify them. You can use middlewares to log requests or validate user authentication before processing requests. Express simplifies the process of defining routes for handling different HTTP requests: get, post, put, delete, etc. Express is excellent for building RESTful APIs. It allows you to create endpoints that can perform various operations based on HTTP requests. Here we provide a simple Express.js example. This code sets up a basic Express server that listens for GET request on the route URL. When accessed, it responds with "Hello World". Express allows developers to create complex server-side applications easily by providing tools for routing and middleware integration. How to install Express.js in a Node.js application? Navigate to your project directory, open a terminal and navigate to your project folder. If you haven't already, create a package.json file using npm init-y. Run the following command to install Express: npm space install space express. Consider installing body parser as middleware to parse incoming request bodies in a middleware before your handlers are available under require.body property. MySQL is a popular open source relational database management system used to store and manage data efficiently. MySQL organizes data into structured tables, allowing relationships between different data entities. It's widely used due to its reliability, scalability, and ease of use. Key features: MySQL uses tables to store data in rows and columns. You can define relationships between tables, ensuring efficient data retrieval and integrity. Adheres to ACID properties: atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability to ensure reliable transaction processing. MySQL supports multiple users accessing the database simultaneously, making it suitable for applications with many concurrent users. This slide presents a MySQL code example for creating a table. This SQL command creates a student table with various fields: ID, enrollment number, name, attendance, medical status. This structure allows you to efficiently store and query student data in your application. How to install MySQL on your system? Go to the official MySQL website and download the MySQL community server for your operating system. Run the installer and follow the prompts. You will be guided through the installation process, including configuring a root password, which is crucial for accessing the database. After installation, start the MySQL server using the command line or the graphical interface provided. Open a terminal and run MySQL space hyphen hyphen version. This command checks if MySQL is installed correctly by displaying the version. Integrating technologies. This slide discusses how different technologies come together to form a cohesive web application. In a typical web application, the front end communicates with the backend through API requests. The backend handles this request, interact with the database to retrieve or store data, and send response back to the front end. Thus, the user interact with the front end sends an API request to the backend. The backend processes the request, query the MySQL database if needed, and retrieve the data. The backend sends the response back to the front end, updating the user interface accordingly. This architecture allows for real-time updates and dynamic interactions within the web application. Next, we have OCR space API. What is OCR? OCR stands for Optical Character Recognition. which is the technology that converts different types of documents such as scanned paper documents, PDFs, or images taken by digital camera into editable and searchable data. OCR Space API is an online service that performs optical character recognition on images and PDFs. This technology is crucial for extracting text from images, enabling automation of data entry tasks and information retrieval. The key features of the OCR Space API are: the OCR Space API runs in the cloud, so there is no need for local installation. It processes requests and returns results through HTTP. The API supports multiple languages, make it versatile for different text recognition needs. It works with various image formats. The API is designed to provide high accuracy in text recognition, especially for clear images. Imagine you are developing an application that scans receipts. You could use the OCR Space API to extract text from the scanned images of receipts, enabling you to store the information in your database for expense tracking. Here is a practical example of using the OCR Space API in Python to extract text from an image. This function takes an image file path and an API key, sends a request to the OCR Space API, and returns the recognized text in JSON format. You would need to place a key with a valid API key obtained from the OCR Space website. Next we have Multer for file uploads. It is a middleware for handling file uploads in Node.js application. It simplifies the process of accepting files from the client and store them on the server. It helps manage file uploads efficiently, allowing developers to specify file storage options and valid file types before saving them. It offers several key features that makes file handling straightforward in Express application. It can validate the file type and size before saving, ensuring only acceptable files are uploaded. For example, you can restrict uploads to image files only. It allows you to configure storage options, either storing files temporarily in memory or permanently on the server's disk. You can define how files are stored and named on the server. Easy of integration. It integrates seamlessly with Express.js, allowing you to handle file uploads in a simple and efficient manner. This slide outlines the typical flow of web application, demonstrating how different components interact with each other. The user interacts with the front end, such as uploading a file or submitting a form. The front end sends a request to the Express server. The server processes the request, interact with MySQL database if necessary, and may use Multer to handle file uploads. If needed, the backend query the database to retrieve or store data. The backend sends the response back to the front end, where the user interface is updated based on the returned data. This law allows for a seamless user experience, ensuring that interactions are handled efficiently and effectively. Now, let's see an example of a web application which is used to build the concept which were covered throughout the video. In this application, we will take a subject name from the user, then an image of an attendance sheet which consider the student names and the attendance of the students on the different dates. And in the last, we take a common attendance sheet PDF which will have the attendance for every subject corresponding to the every student. We will use OCR Space API to extract text from the image uploaded by the user and then when count the attendance of every student for that particular subject. The app will match both the data, first the data extracted by the OCR and second the data extracted from the PDF, and if any mismatch is found regarding a particular student, the mismatch data will be shown on the user screen. In this video, we cover several topics like understanding the client-server architecture. We explore how web applications rely on the interaction between front-end and back-end components. We discuss how the core technologies like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript work together to create a responsive and interactive user interface. We learned how to build server-side applications that can handle requests and serve data using Node.js and Express.js. We understood the basic of relational database and how to interact with them using SQL. We explore how APIs like the OCR Space API can extend the capabilities of our application by allowing data extraction and processing. These concepts provide a solid foundation for building modern web applications, empowering you to create dynamic and engaging user experience. As we conclude this video, it's important to emphasize the power and flexibility of web applications. Each technology we discussed plays a vital role in delivering a seamless experience to users. The integration of front-end and back-end technologies enables the creation of robust applications. Understanding the roles of APIs and databases is crucial for developing dynamic web experiences. With the right tools and knowledge, you can build full stack applications that meet various user needs. Thank you for your attention throughout this video. I hope you found it informative and engaging. If you have any questions or would like further clarification on any topic, please feel free to ask in the comment section.